Hey guys, I have a message for you. Why do we choose to incarnate in this third dimension? Supposedly, the most dense reality there is, in which a soul has the possibility to remember its divine nature. This is the most unique, rare, and special opportunity divinity incarnated in a soul has. The light is faintest here. It takes incredible effort to remember who we really are and pass through all the materialistic conditioning. But it is still possible. Now, why is this the greatest gift there is? In higher densities, the closer we are to the source, the creator, consciousness, God, or however you want to call it, the possibilities for manifestation, divine creation, and shaping reality as we please are much, much greater than here in the third dimension. However, it is a paradox that it is better to be there in the higher dimensions. Firstly, we have consciously chosen to incarnate down here in the third dimension, being aware of the fact that we would forget everything and be born as a blank slate. Now, why would a soul choose to do that? Why would a soul choose to incarnate in a lower dimension if it is supposedly an inferior one? Secondly, but maybe more importantly, imagine being God, the infinite creator, from all that is, ever has been, and ever will be. You fragment yourself in supposedly separate souls as we are, right? You have infinite universes, realities, and dimensions to play in. In most of them, you remember who you are, you remember your origins and what you did before, accumulating all your experiences to the one point where you live in infinity. Now, in the infinite universes, we can imagine this game can become boring and tedious, simply by the fact that no matter what you do or create, you know the answers already. You know you are an infinite being with an eternal lifespan. You've been there before. Would that not become boring at some point? Alright, let's get back to the third dimension where we are currently in. So you have crafted a reality that lies in between the second dimension of the animal kingdom, where there is consciousness, but there is no consciousness of consciousness like we humans have. Being able to, for example, have a conversation about these topics that I'm now talking about. Then on the other side, there is the fourth dimension, a place where we start to remember who we are and where we came from. Maybe this is still a place that things are not completely clear, so therefore the fourth dimension would maybe just be like half an upgrade, let's say third dimension version 2. A place where it seems we are currently in or currently heading towards as humanity. Then we have the fifth dimension, where everything is clear again. We remember who we are, we remember where we came from, and we remember what we came to do in this particular incarnation. Alright, back to the third dimension though. So you are born in a system where you have forgotten the divine creature that you are. You go through human birth trauma, designed in a way to make us suffer from the very beginning. Have you ever seen or heard a child that is being born and appears to be happy, smiling, laughing? I haven't. Then throughout your whole childhood, puberty and adolescence, you are being told all these lies, deceits, untruths, half-truths, portrayed all these illusions, all only to make you believe that you are a separate entity, a finite entity, born in a reality of supposed lack, survival, competition, fear, and ultimately, death. Now, you play this game over and over again, incarnating for eons in different third dimension realities until the point where you are now, listening to my words. You incarnate, you go through the same bullshit as you've done many, many times before, but this time, something is different. There is this unstoppable, eternal burning flame inside of you. You go through childhood, you suffer the bullying, the isolation, not being understood, feeling out of place, as if you are not home, as if this reality is not where you are supposed to be. You face depressions, anxieties, fears, worries, suicidal thoughts. You want to distance yourself from this reality that you are in. As a defense mechanism, you create a disorder, a mental health problem that, on contrary to appearances, ought to help you navigate through this bullshit. A temporary solution where you confirm to yourself that indeed there is something wrong with you. You don't conform to what the masses say, you struggle and fight against the status quo. One addiction follows the other, you sink into a deep hole of darkness where the only way out seems to be the inevitable death. However, the deeper into the darkness you go, the more this burning flame ignites. This darkness feels like this itch on your back that you cannot seem to reach with your hand unless you do something to break the normal pattern. Now, breaking this pattern reveals something interesting. You want to scratch, but you realize that there is in fact no itch, that it is just an illusion projected by your mind. The flame starts to burn more. You start crawling out of the depths of the darkness you found yourself in. The questions you have been asking your parents, your caretakers as a child, like, where do we come from? To which you probably never got any satisfying answers. They are coming back to you. You wonder, you look around, you start realizing the whole world is ticking like a Swiss watch, manufactured to move into a mechanical way, governed by laws and keeping all its pawns in order. However, when the whole world goes left, something inside of you has the urge to go right. You explore, you dare taking steps you have not taken before. You seek help. You look for different answers than the ones that you have been getting your whole life. You realize the history they have been teaching you at school serves only the agenda of having this Swiss watch ticking without disturbances, simply to obey the laws of its master. You find out the religions set up are all serving but one master of control and enslavement. The truth of spirituality is buried deep inside its core, most of it hidden from the public. However, just enough truth is spread so that humanity does not question it too much, and billions of people follow its teachings blindly. But then there is you. You're not one of them, not anymore. You did this for a very, very long time, but not anymore. You start to awaken. You challenge yourself to think differently. You embark on a journey of deep and profound inner search. What is this burning flame you keep on sensing? There is no words you can ascribe to it. You just know. You start making decisions in your life, and you just know this is what you should be doing. No answers other than just knowing. It is scary. It is something unknown. It is something completely new. You doubt. You hesitate. In the beginning, often falling back into the old systems. But no matter how much you fall back, you keep on getting out. Not this lifetime. Not anymore. The flame burns too brightly. You move forward and slowly start realizing you're not alone. Synchronicities start appearing, but you have no words for it other than coincidence. In the beginning. However, you know deep down that coincidences don't exist, and your curiosity keeps on growing. You start traveling, you change jobs, you find new hobbies, and you start meeting souls who share the same journey as you do, who ponder the same questions, who have been going through similar experiences of suppression. 2012 passes. We're moving into 2020. The collective and universal energies assist you further in this process of awakening. You realize this is the time you have been waiting for. This is the reason you have been incarnating countless times, suffering the biggest atrocities, and learn the most valuable lessons that bring you into the ultimate chapter of the game of forgetting. You start to understand why you chose this third dimension, where you are just far enough from Source not to completely forget where you came from, what your roots are, and what you came here to do. To shine your light. You realize this is the most intricate and fascinating game you have been playing so far. The pieces of the puzzle are finally assembling into order. You acknowledge your brothers and sisters as external reflections of your inner projection of the mind. You are finally starting to understand why you have chosen this third dimension reality. Why this is the most beautiful times to live in. Why this is the most beautiful dimension to incarnate in. And the wonderful thing is, you are just in the beginning. The possibilities are endless, limitless, infinite. Your ascension back to the Creator, God, Source, consciousness, however you want to call it, has now become infinitely more interesting. This is what you have been waiting for. This is your moment. I love you. Be the awesome, amazing, legendary, beautiful soul that you are. Keep on shining your light. We are truly moving into the golden ages. And so it is.